Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
It's got everybody.
We're back to talk one of our original shows on our channel, us covering the Bachelor franchise. This is The Golden Bachelor. This is episode 4 of the inaugural season. A lot going on with Gerry and company this week. I think off the top thing I will say is the biggest takeaway I said, besides you need to start a drinking game for Gerry's "the woman I can't live without" line. That was like 16 times this week. So if you ladies, gentlemen, want to have a fun drinking game next week, there's your number one take a shot one. Gerry's definitely not down for the Bachelor drama. Gerry, I'm obviously talking about the Kathy, Theresa, I don't want to call it a war, but the Kathy and Theresa disagreement over if Theresa is an oversharer and if that's mean, or if Kathy's just oversensitive. Looks like Gerry ruled on the side of Theresa here. Theresa goes and tells Gerry what the deal was. Then he goes and speaks with Kathy. He didn't like what Kathy had to say. He thought her explanation was lame. It even pointed out that he had given her special attention that night by giving her a special rose. Um, yeah, she didn't get a rose in the rose ceremony. We'll talk about the full rose ceremony and everything, but I do want to leave with that because I think that's what most people probably be talking about. Bry, what was your take on the fallout and how this all ended up playing out?
I mean, I think he made the right move, or if he's actually going to try to find a true connection. Because I didn't think I think the Kathy thing was forced. Like she was really hoping for something that I don't think was actually there. He kissed a lot of girls today. He's kissing a lot of people, and I don't. There's no problem with that, but that you should add that to the drinking game board.
Yeah, he even gave what's her face a kiss on the way out. He gave
Bro, yeah,
April a nice kiss on the way out.
yeah. See you later, kiss.
Shoosh. I feel like I'm watching like a old Family Feud here. Roger Dawson. um, the episode had a lot of things. The group date was near and dear to Gerry's heart. It was a pickleball group date with Sandra, excuse me, Susan, Nancy, April, Theresa, Kathy, and Faith. Let's just real quick too before we even get into the date. A real shout out to Sandra. Sandra's always been funny, but Sandra skipped her daughter's wedding to be on The Golden Bachelor. That came out this week.
Yeah, I thought she was awesome. She had some really funny lines. Like she was great this episode.
I think she's great for sure. Um, also, we got Joey. We got a little preview of Joey in between his last season appearance on The Bachelorette, and I know his season's filming now, might be over at this point, being
Yeah.
filmed, or very close to. So nice appearance by Joey. I don't think it was overly forced, and they didn't really like jam him down our throats.
Yeah, he didn't make it on the judges table.
No, no, he had to get out.
They're like,
The
you need to have a season under your belt before you can come sit up here.
we're referring to is what they called the first annual Golden Bachelor Pickleball Championship. I feel like pickleball will be a staple. They'll probably do this for these Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette seasons. It seems like an older person activity. I mean, listen, a ton of young people do pickleball now too, but it's definitely something like that. More golden cast would be do as like an
Right.
exercise thing. I mean, Ellen is a captain of a team and plays 4 times a week.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of free time.
I want to give some shout outs to the team names. There was 3 that I thought were really funny, in particular the Pinky Dinkies, the Pickleish Paddles, and the Bitchin' Kitchens. So
That was the best one.
yeah, that one was funny. Uh, Shout out to April that fakes an ankle injury like Aaron Rodgers and gets some one-on-one time on the ground with Gerry, which I thought was really, really funny. Very obvious that she had broken her ankle because no one went to go help her.
Hey, and I appreciate it. You got to get all the time you can.
Um, Also, shout out when Gerry lets Sandra FaceTime her daughter. He definitely was never in the frame of the camera. She's like, meet Gerry. And I was looking at the screen and like, you can't see Gerry at all. And he's going, hello. Like, that was such a genuine older person
Yeah,
moment as well. Like, my
I
mom isn't Gerry's age yet, but like, she's like, they horrible with like
terrible at
FaceTime
FaceTime.
mechanics.
I honestly, for a second, I thought he was gonna be like, "We're gonna go to the wedding."
That's what I thought, dude. I was
Like
like
an
so
old
amped,
Bachelor
like
would
they
have
were
done
there
that.
for their honeymoon or
Yeah,
something.
old Bachelor would have done that. You remember they used to just like impromptu like one-on-ones. They're like, hey, I just remember that Juan Pablo season. He's like, all right, we're gonna go here and run in this concert. You remember that? Like the
Yeah,
neon concert they did? That would have been really cool. But it would have been weird. Like she would have ditched him at the part or the wedding, but it would have been, I think, a really funny moment. Even if they didn't film it, it's like, hey, we're going. And hopped on a PJ and went wherever it was.
different times.
Mm.
Ellen and Kathy did win the tournament. They didn't win. They got to be in this like magazine or whatever, but they didn't get really any like special one-on-one time. I was surprised by that they didn't get some kind of like, special time with him that others. They really just split the time up pretty evenly outside of people getting the one-on-one dates on the show.
They got a smooch.
They do. I mean, everyone got a smooch. That's why I'm not noting the smooches.
Right.
Um, Theresa and Kathy do sit down, like we said, to rehash last week, and that's where the
Zip
impromptu
it.
stuff that everything we talked about at the top of the episode takes place. Um, Unfortunately for Gerry, and if this is your first time watching the reality guys or Golden Bachelor is your first time, our boy Gerry did something you're not supposed to do. I have cardinal rules of the Bachelor franchise that you do not break, and Gerry broke the no motorized vehicles date rule. Everything turned out safe and okay for Leslie, but it could have went bad. Let's just Gerry, no motorized vehicles going for. He was driving on the 40 the 405 or whatever for the first time in this little car, no airbags. Like, what is he
No
doing?
lights. Yeah, honestly, dude, if they fell off, they could have broken a hip.
It would hurt.
It would have shattered like glass.
The ladies played Never Have I Ever with ice cream scoops. I thought this was really funny.
Yeah.
Sandra plays, even though she's lactose intolerant. Again, Sandro, however, whatever, if I'm saying it, goat. April takes a scoop for every single question.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
And Susan too.
Susan was down for most too, and she had some of her own that she was on her own. She's yeah, Susan was good. Um, the rose ceremony here, leading into the rose ceremony. So Leslie did get a rose on the one-on-one, and Sandra was given a rose for not going to her daughter's wedding, basically.
Yeah.
It's literally the best explanation I can give. The following women did receive roses and are going on to next week. Ellen, Faith, Susan, and Theresa. So, like we said, Theresa won the Kathy war. Eliminated was Nancy. I want to skip the Nancy stuff. Nancy, during the cocktail party conversations, had one of those kind of classic Bachelor conversations where it's like, hey, I just think you have better connections in the house. Gerry agreed, and pretty quick, amicable parting the ways. Not really a bunch of tears, anything, hugs, see you ladies, and she was out.
Yeah.
This didn't even go over like a commercial break. Like
Yeah.
this
I
was
mean,
just
I
like
like, I'm
out.
not gonna lie to you. I was watching in the car and I missed that.
So sorry, I got it. But I was like, damn, that was efficient. Like I
Yeah.
was watching it on my phone because me and my wife were like had another movie on for Golden Bachelor, but I'm listening to it and I'm like,
It just like sneaks up on you,
so
man, with the
smooth.
hours. Yeah.
It was so. I mean, again, I wish her the best, and if watching or anybody knows her watching, like we were fans. It just was one of the more mature, and not to make a pun on age, but it's one of the more mature, just like parting of the ways.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. That means we are now down to
Six.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 women remaining, man. After next week, we're at hometowns.
So two will go next week.
Yeah, 2 will go
Right.
next week.
Get down to four.
I'm my early guess is one-on-one date with someone he's not very sure with. I'm guessing it's going to be our girl, Susan. I don't think Susan's one of those classic ones. She hasn't had the one-on-one time with him. She's great, but I could see next week being you don't get a rose, someone not getting a rose on the one-on-one, and then one woman eliminated in the rose ceremony.
He did give her the rock.
He might be telling her to kick rocks next week. Also, though, they showed the preview, and I'm pretty sure it's not just for all next week, but at one point Gerry does make a statement saying, the day my wife died was the worst day of my life, and this is the second worst day. Like, what happened?
Yeah. Then you cue Jesse The most dramatic ending ever.
Ever. Like, unless someone goes out on like a stretcher or something, like, I don't want to hear this crap.
Yeah, I mean, we're numb to it now.
We are numb to it. Um, I think right now, I mean, they really are leaning as like Theresa being like main character. I also think Faith, possibly just based off what they've shown us. Sandra as well. I think that's like a solid
Yeah,
top three in my brain.
yeah, I think that's gonna be the move. Maybe meet the newlyweds at the
Meet them on their
at the
honeymoon.
hometown, the hometowns.
We'll actually swap with them and let them have the bachelor mansion while you're gone and let them have
Yeah,
their honeymoon
and
there.
he'll show up with like an engagement gift, win some points over.
It's gonna be like an oster.
Yeah,
Um, make sure you check out the rest of our coverage we have going on the reality guys. The next day or so, we will have episode 4 of Bachelor in Paradise. Last night we covered both The Amazing Race and Survivor 45 on CBS Wednesdays. We'll have a review out for Southern Charm, House of Villains. We also had the F Boy Island season 3 premiere earlier in the week as well. So look out for all those videos. Also, some collabs with some other content creators. You know, you've seen Kyle Petty on here a bunch for the Strat Chat Pod. Shout out to our boy Kyle. But Brian and I too, we're going to pop around a little bit and start making some appearances as well. So we'll make sure to plug all that stuff coming up very soon. But until next time, for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.